I think this was a very interesting panel in the context of the conference, because what we had was really the market maker, those economists that are really on the market, discussing on how they see the unwinding of monetary policy and how they see the transformation happening and what effect will it have on markets. It was on that perspective what I took out of the panel was at the beginning we started discussing how the normalization of monetary policy will reflect on financing condition for the private sector. So for the private sector, for the public sector, and then on re-evaluation of assets in the market. And at the beginning we had a discussion where we were thinking that it's more predictable what will happen and the risks are not so high, so there will be corrections, but without extremely big financial stability shocks. Then at the very end we started raising some more concern, and I think the point that is emerging is that after so many years of very abundant liquidity, the central banks are themselves considering how to unwind the monetary policy on the past. So shrinking balance sheet, rising rate, we know a lot of how to do it on the other direction in terms of expansionary policies. But the normalization, the getting back, is more of an unknown, and by being an unknown, we also don't know how we'll transmit to the financial markets per se. So this concern on we may not see all now remain at the end of the panel. And then the other point that I wanted to mention, we were discussing also on the corporate sector, what we see happening on the corporate sector and financing conditions, and there is another aspect of concern maybe for the future, in the sense that this tightening of financing condition also for the corporate sector, it comes at a moment in which firms already had to prove their capacity, their resilience to a normalization of policies. And now we not only see the shock associated to the war coming, but also this tightening of financial conditions coming on top. So it's another area of concern and something that we may reflect more also in the next years. I think I tend to be a little bit more on the negative side than most of the people in the conference. Everybody is, rightly so, very concerned about inflation. I am, again, very much concerned about inflation, but I also think that we may be too optimistic in terms of the growth outlook and how the economy will withstand the current normalization of policies.